There's a lot of productivity content out there, and the problem is it's really easy to get caught up and make three mistakes. One is not understanding the two different types of productivity. Two is not seeing how, depending on which type you're working in, it should look very different. And three, getting so obsessed with the systems and the optimizing that we don't actually pick the right type of productivity for us. The reason we get productivity wrong when we just consume a lot of content about optimizing and feeling good and all these systems, frameworks, is that we forget that there's two types of productivity. There's the type that is focused internally, intrinsically on feelings. If, however, you're trying to be useful to others, you're going to be primarily focused on productivity where you're offering value. So there's a thing that you're creating and you're giving it to others. You're focused a lot less on your feelings and you're focused more on the thing that people want and whether you're delivering on it. We're going to sort out all of that in this video, starting with definitions. What is productivity? I'm glad you asked because I have some definitions from the GOATs of what productivity is. Productivity is doing more of what matters to you, getting important things done consistently, combining organization and intention towards increasing the quality of your life. Productivity is increasing the output reaped from a given salary investment. Some examples. If we just left it at that, we would be left with a very important flaw in our definition, which is not differentiating between intrinsic value and extrinsic value. Now, these authors in their books, they understand this and they add little disclosures when they're giving their definitions that speak to this. But when we consume all this stuff and it's in our feeds and we don't get that context, it's so easy to forget. So let me explain what is intrinsic productivity, what is extrinsic productivity, and at the very end, I'll leave you with a question. So it's always super easy to understand which type of mode you're in with any given task. Okay, intrinsic productivity is this. Whether you feel good about how you spent your time. Did it match your values? Probably felt good. Was it hard, but you did it anyway? Showed yourself discipline? That probably felt good too. Were you in the creative flow for a long time and you expressed yourself? That probably felt good. In all those ways, you were intrinsically productive. They're all based on feelings, and who's the authority on your feelings? No one except for you. So only you can say if you were intrinsically productive or not. However, from outside, when you're operating in this mindset of productivity, there'll be a couple clues. You'll be focused on your efficiency. You'll be focused on your systems, on your feelings, on your problems, on your priorities, on how to clarify your vision. You'll probably be reading about productivity so that you can turn that in on yourself so you can do new practices, new techniques. You can track how much things you're putting in and what their output is on how it feels. You're tweaking your system. You're chasing the dopamine of the next feeling of checking off that next task. It's almost like you're a Formula One engineer. Okay, so imagine this engineer is optimizing the tire pressure, the drag, the fuel economy, everything about the design so that the car can run as efficiently as possible. It's like their job to increase the overall potential efficiency of the car. It's not their job to win first place. That's the driver's job. They put them in a position to do that. That's the kind of mindset that you apply to your life and your productivity when you're thinking intrinsically. Okay, so what is extrinsic productivity, or if you like, economic productivity? My definition, 2 words: offering value. To offer implies that there's something to offer. To offer something, you have to package it, which means the thing is done enough so that it can fit inside of a package. So let's say you're a writer and you are trying to offer value. You could do that by composing a tweet. You could write a blog. You could write a section of your book. You could write an ebook. You could publish the actual book. And each of those are different offerings and they'll have different degrees of value to them. So value is another fuzzy definition, but it's really important. I feel like I needed to hear 10 definitions of it before it stuck. So I'm gonna give you that right now. Value to me is how much you're helping other people. If that's not landing for you, I'm gonna hit you with some others from the GOATs. Value is the change your product or service creates for the customer. the difference between before and after, the emotional impact or benefit someone receives from a product or experience, not just its features or its price. Maximizing results while minimizing effort. And lastly, my favorite one, the most mathematical. Value equals dream outcome times perceived likelihood of achievement divided by time delay times effort plus sacrifice. In other words, the more you can deliver what people want quickly and easily, the greater the value. Whichever one of those clicked for you, you'll notice that it focuses on others and facts, whereas intrinsic value focuses on you as an individual and your feelings. So that was the theory. What's this actually look like? When someone's focused on providing extrinsic value or being extrinsically or economically productive, they'll focus on these things: audience count, total impressions, revenue, market cap, reviews and ratings, survey results. Interesting how in all those things, those indicators, they're not the authority on who decides. It's other people. Forgive me because I forget the conversation and the actual names, but there was an interview with a very wealthy person, and the interviewer is like, so do you feel like you've had a big impact on the world, that you're really important? And this guy said, it's not for me to decide how valuable I am. That's the key point here. Value is about others. They decide it for you. Question is, will this help others once it's done? All right, I tried with my definitions and examples, but this picture summarizes it better than I ever could. Let's break it down. These people are trying to be extrinsically productive. One of them got water and is bringing them back to a party. Two of them are baling hay, cutting down hay so that they can sell it or create shelter for it. So were they productive? Was this person productive, let's say? Not yet, because they haven't yet helped anyone. Say they really wanted water. These people really wanted water because all they got is wine, and this person was supposed to get water, but instead they got wine. And then they offer this to them and they don't want it anymore because they're good on wine. Then it's not that productive what they just did, that long walk they did. If, however, it is water, they love it, it helps them immensely, then yeah, this was very productive. This guy, you would look at him and say, yeah, he's not productive, he's lazy. Maybe not. Maybe he's good on food, maybe he's good on finances, maybe he's good on his status among the people. He's not gonna lose any of that. And instead, he just wants to do what feels good and enjoy life and slow down a little bit. A nap might actually be productive here. This is just as productive if his goal is to slow down and enjoy life. In fact, if this guy is just worried about intrinsic productivity and he's doing that, and this person's worried about extrinsic economic productivity, and she's bringing back the wrong type of liquids, he's being more productive than her. And it doesn't matter what kind of productivity system he has. It doesn't matter what kind of methods this person has or psychological tricks. That's what really matters. So decide, are you this person or are you this person? And if you're this person, do these people want what you're offering? Is it really helping them? And in fact, did you actually get closer to bringing the thing to them? Or are you still out here in the fields, dilly-dallying, going on side quests, worrying about things that don't actually matter? Assuming you're working on a team, your team's value or productivity is determined by the revenue it generates. And assuming fairness, your individual value on that team is reflected by your pay before taxes. Really important note here though, creating extrinsic value, being economically productive, and capturing that value are two related but different things. Linus Torvalds, the creator of Linux, the operating system that every single tech company uses, it's completely free, it's completely open sourced, no one has to pay for it. That's insane value. Like what he contributed to the world is insane, and no one talks about him. He's not on the list of Forbes that I know of. I don't know how much value he's captured, but it's a small slice. So intrinsic value, self, feelings, extrinsic, others, value reflected by money. When someone has the right incentives, which means they just capture the value that they create, and they're focused on being extrinsically productive, they will focus on one or two things: Remember, external productivity is offering value, so they're going to focus on the offer or the value. I like simplifying, keeping it simple. The offer, when they're focusing on that, the emphasis is motion, it's imperfection, it's iterations, it's cutting out the fat. The question they're always asking is it done yet? Is it done yet? Can we make the offer? Is there a new offer? The value is focused on others. So they're thinking about how do we impact more people, or how do we impact who we're impacting now at a deeper level? The question they're always asking when focused on the value is, do they want it? And how much will they pay for it? So if the intrinsically productive person is like the engineer creating the car who feels really good when the car can potentially go really fast, or they solve some technical problem that might help the car in the race, but they're not so concerned about the driver or the audience or what place they make in the race, because that's kind of like not the main thing. Extrinsically or economically productive person is like either a pop star or a surgeon. So pop star, breath, they're focused on maximizing the number of people who could listen to their song and like it. So the message has to be universal. It has to be appealing. It has to speak to something that transcend different languages and cultures. And they have to actually produce a song, and they have to be willing to perform it, right? So they're thinking about reach, how to package it for the most people so that the most people can enjoy it. The surgeon is thinking about how to maximize the impact for the individual. So they are thinking about how to exceed expectations, minimizing risk, making it a pleasant experience, professional. Maybe they're educating themselves on other types of surgeries or ways that they can refer the person if they're not the right person to solve their problem. So it's maximizing impact. If you're worried about being extrinsically productive and you're taking the pop star method, you're thinking, how can I impact millions, hundreds of millions of people, billions of people? Like you're going for scale. If you just make 1 million people's lives 1% better, or you give them like a little relief from their days for 10 seconds, you're providing insane amount of value. I'm glad these comedians are getting rich. I'm glad movie stars are getting rich. I'm glad musicians are getting rich, because that's what they're doing. They're just giving us little slivers of values that are helping us all the time. If you're acting like a surgeon, you could be like a B2B company, an enterprise company who's solving another enterprise company's problem, like maybe just one company's problem. Maybe you're making a custom solution for Microsoft, and Microsoft is using it everywhere. It's just for that one person, and it's so valuable, and it's tailored just to their needs. You're being like a surgeon in terms of your economic value. Cool? All right, before I get all carried away with my next point, if you have gotten any value from this so far, then like or subscribe. I'll show up in your feed again. It'll be great. We're just getting started. Let's continue. All right, you made it this far, which means I think you can handle the thought experiment I'm gonna throw at you. You're not gonna get super reactive and flame me. You're gonna see the deeper meaning behind this. The reason I bring up this topic is it combines a lot of what we're talking about: productivity, feelings, value of others, and also morality. So I'm gonna give you the topic, I'm gonna give you the facts, and I'm gonna talk about what that means given our new definitions of productivity, value, and offerings. The topic is OnlyFans in the United States. The facts are, starting with the creators, most of the 4 million creators are between 20 and 29, and they post images or videos on this platform. 84% of them are female, and in 2021, the top account earned $20 million a month. Some facts about the viewers or the fans. There are 305 million fan accounts as of 2 years ago. So for every one creator, there's 74 fans. 79% of them are males, and 90% of the overall users fans are married. 6% are single, 4 in a relationship. I just picked one fact for the business. This is all we need to know. The revenue. So in 2023, the revenue was, take a guess. The revenue was 6.6 billion. That's more than Equifax made that year. That's more than Hilton made that year. That's more than Domino's made that year. Domino's. That's more than Moderna made that year. Okay, what's this mean? Economically, extrinsically, OnlyFans as a platform and the creators on there are insanely valuable. Why? Because in the US especially, married men consider that content valuable, and they prove that with the time and the money they spend on it. Was it intrinsically valuable for the creators, we'll say? That I don't know. You don't know either, because intrinsic value is about the person, the individual. I could see it being extremely intrinsically valuable for someone with a worldview where what they're doing is expression, it's liberation, it's creative freedom, it's like defying systems and norms and creating a new society in a sort of way. It's empowering them so they can help their family, whatever. But I could also see how it's very not productive for someone who is just doing it for the money, who doesn't feel good about what they're posting, who feels like they're lying all the time, or it's like kind of slimy, or they don't like the people that they're attracting. So say you were in this situation and we were looking at it from productivity standpoint. If you were thinking about being a creator and it aligned with your intrinsic worldview, and you were primarily trying to optimize for your feelings about how you spend your time and energy, it would be very productive to go on there, because every time you're on there, every time you're uploading, you feel really good about what you're providing for the world. So the act itself is rewarding. If you're primarily focused on making money, on having an economic or an extrinsic impact, and there is demand for your content, it would also be insanely productive for you to participate in that platform, especially considering how quick it is to package the thing. Like, it's take a picture, video, upload it, message, done, right? Like, the value you get from that is insane per unit of time, like very productive. However, if all those other things happen, but there's no demand, the value isn't there, so you're better off finding a different way to offer value. You get it, right? Kind of fun. For the record, I don't condone it. I don't think it's good or it's bad. I don't think the platform or the creators are good or it's bad. I think it's just a reflection on society, and I think it shows that we're in a sad state, that this is worth $6.6 billion. We're going to leave that specific topic as it is. I have one more example. It hits home a little more with a little less morality. Say you're a software engineer. You know how to code. You like coding, and your goal is just to code. As long as you're coding, you're good, you're happy. And you make an app, and you've been making this app for a handful of years, let's say, and no one else uses it. Are you productive? Intrinsically, yeah, you're very productive, because it feels good every time you're coding. Extrinsically, economically, no. Obviously, you're not productive because no one else is using it, no one's paying you for it. If you're economically motivated, you're going for extrinsic productivity, and you're a developer and you don't really like developing that much, you just like product and money, and you create an app in a weekend from vibe coding, and you put it out there, and after a week it's got 100 users, and you keep going, after a month it's got 200 users, and you keep going, and you're creating all this revenue, and then one day you sell it for a lot of money. But let's say in that 1 month when you went from 0 users to 1,000 users, you, that developer, would have been insanely more extrinsically productive than the first one who has been working on things for years. Do you understand the difference? Because it's about other people in this context, and other people got value from what you created. Big difference. I hope you see it. So I have one question. This one question is going to summarize all this stuff, and it's going to tell you what camp you're in for any task, any event, any calendar. Trying to simplify. Question is, will this help others once it's done? Will this coffee meeting I have with this person help others once it's done? Will this project I'm working on help others once it's done? Will this bunch of notes I'm taking in this note-taking system, will it help others once I'm done? The focus is on others, the focus is on done, and it's on helping. How you answer that will set you in whatever camp you're in. But whatever you decide, however you answer that question, when it comes to implementing and creating some kind of structure around what you're going to do, you're going to need 3 things: notes, calendar, and tasks. That's it. I don't care what kind of framework you're doing. I don't care what kind of fancy new app you're using. It's going to have those 3 things, and how those 3 things interact with each other It's very important to actually be intrinsically or extrinsically productive. I have a video out right here that explains the interaction between the three and how to use them no matter what kind of productivity style you like. Check that out. I'll see you over there.